So this is going to be an interesting, different kind of review. I thought it would be a cinematic atrocity. It's a movie called Music. It came out in 2021, directed by Sia and written by her. It is a drama film about a girl named Music. She's a nonverbal autistic girl who likes music, is named Music, and the movie's called Music. So I can't take credit for discovering this film. That would have to go to Kayla Says, the YouTuber. She did a video about Sia and sort of how she lost touch with reality. This movie is a perfect example of that. If you're unfamiliar, this 2021 film is about Music. She's got autism, and the reason why the movie sucks is because the filmmaker, Sia, didn't realize how autism works. So one of the big things that characters do in this movie is whenever Music has her freakouts, because she's got autism, is to hold her down and to simulate a hug until it passes, which is you're not supposed to do. But the film makes it sound like this is like casual information that you should know. If you have a young relation with autism, hold them down until they stop moving. That's dangerous. It's really just irresponsible. But also, finding out that the movie cost like $16 million and made $645,000, and that's it. And then the more I found out about it, the more sick fascination I got with this, and it was on Amazon Prime, so I figured I'd just check it out and see if it's a cinematic atrocity. This film's not. It's just terrible. I didn't realize how terrible cinema could be, because this movie is just like a well of cliches. Okay, first off, it's a musical. Not a big deal, but the music is used as a crutch because it can't handle the emotions of just a normal drama film, which is really terrible. Essentially, Music, she's a teenager, she wakes up, grandma makes her eggs, she has a routine, she gets her hair braided, then she goes outside, goes for a walk, and different members of the community watch over her. So like there's the newspaper man, gives her like an old magazine so she can cut out pictures of animals. There's a Latino teenager that watches her for a bit of the walk. There's the building manager who, greets her as she walks out the building, and she goes over to the library and then back. However, grandma keels over one day, so they have to contact the next relation, a sort of fuck up named Kazoo, Zoo for short, played by Kate Hudson. She's a drug addict, alcoholic mess who can't, hold down a job or whatever, and she just got released maybe from jail or something. And she's now in charge, so at least she's got a place to stay. So she's looking for money, and she basically, begrudgingly doesn't want to have this burden of a sister with autism, and she spends the whole movie trying to avoid making jokes and cracking wise about, wanting to abandon her sister. And then we get a lot of just terrible dance sequences because, like, no offense to Maddie Ziegler, but she's 18, she's a dancer, she's not really an actress. And she didn't do much research because she's just basically opening her mouth like this all the time, like that, and it just comes off as really like offensive, even if it's not intentional. But whenever other characters have dance sequences, they try to do the same thing. So they have the open mouth and they're dancing, and the movie just feels so disingenuous because whenever it has like a heavy emotional moment, they'll just cut to a dance sequence instead of letting the moment breathe. And the side characters have nothing to do, like Hector Elizondo's there as the building manager, but he doesn't do much. There's the cliche, the teenager. There's a heavy-set Latino teenager who has his own subplot. He's adopted by Chinese parents who run a laundromat, and they're giving him boxing lessons by a neighbor named Oba. He's the one who helps her out by holding down Music. But essentially, on the night of his big fight, his first match, the teenager hugs his opponent. He doesn't want to fight because make love, not war. It comes out of nowhere. But then all of a sudden his father like violently starts choking out his mom for no reason. They're never given subtitles for this film, so we never know the context of why he's so angry. And when the kid tries to interfere, the dad smacks him in the face, he falls, hits his head and dies. And then they cut to a musical number. They won't even let his death like stay with you because it's just it was a gamble. It was a gamble. It was trying to like have something major happen, not to the main characters, but to the cliche side character. And one of my biggest gripes about the film is that maybe they should have went the angle of more exploring the people that work as a community to help Music, but that really doesn't farewell with the Latino. And there's also Oba, the love interest of sorts for Kazoo, and he's got his own problems because he's got a brother with autism and another brother who's doing something. But essentially, yeah, a lot of the movie just feels really weird because it doesn't ring true to life. It almost feels like it's doing it on purpose. Like you're watching it'd be like, there's another movie that's very similar. It's a highly regarded anime film called Josie the Tiger and the Fish, about a girl in a wheelchair. And twice in the movie, she just wildly like goes down a hill as if she's some sort of foppish, terrible person with no arms. And then the only way to save her is to like, you know, heroically stop the wheelchair, because she just is, people in wheelchairs are just like actively always like just spinning out of control, right? Going down ramps and hills and just dying. And the movie, you know, just very ableist. And this movie's the same way. It feels like an alien wrote it. It didn't understand how humans work or what people do, and it ends up coming off like a 2-hour, you know, high school play. It doesn't have a proper bone in its body. It's trying to like play act like what people would do, because there's like a subplot where Kazoo's selling drugs because she doesn't want a real job, so she loses her backpack full of drugs that she was going to sell to a pop star played by Sia, because Sia wants to send drugs to hurricane victims, and a bee basically stings music, and she loses the backpack. So she goes to the hospital. The snow cone man could have kept the backpack for her. It wasn't open, so it's not like he just opened and be like, oh, drugs, give it to the cops. He'd probably just hold on to it for her because she just bought snow cones. So that shouldn't have been a plot point. But either way, she's got like this drug dealer friend that seem too worried. He keeps giving her drugs. And then the movie's just not really interested in sort of completing its own arcs, because the last third of this film is all montages of just work placement. We don't even get to see what Kazoo is doing for work. And then she's trying to put music in this sort of care center. And then she just freaks out and goes like, I can't leave her here. And she's like screaming and acting like, you know, like she actually cares, when she spent the whole movie not giving a shit about music at all. And then sort of it wants to have the feel-good moments without putting in the work, and it just ends up feeling really weird and just not earned. So yeah, this movie was definitely deserves its 3.2 rating on IMDb. I don't even know how, you know, Sia probably has a lot of money from her music career, so she decided to make this, but she should have had someone do a little check first, you know, co-write it with someone. There's no shame in that, because this movie is just a travesty. I give it a 1 out of 10.